floor is a good place.
Yeah. Or should I get on? Should you stand on something?
It's fine.
Well, sometimes you're self-conscious about it, right?
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Health and Wealth. This week's health is a little bit more geared towards brain health than it is physical health. And I'm just touching on the benefits of reading. Nate and I are both, I would say, avid readers.
For sure.
I would like to just say I just finished the novel The Nightingale.
And cried like a baby.
I cried by Kristen Hanna, and it is well worth checking out. I highly recommend it. It was a very humbling book. It is fiction, but it's based on truth.
Historical fiction.
Historical fiction, yes. And okay, so let's just jump right into it. The benefits of reading are kind of endless, but it improves your general knowledge because normally you pick up something in a book.
I always say if I read a book, and sometimes I'll read a book and maybe it's something that I've already read, because I read a lot of nonfiction.
Yeah.
If there's one nugget, one piece that I can take from that book, I'm better off than I was before.
I agree. I've been reading a lot of nonfiction too, but I've been breaking it up with like personal development, and then I switch back to fiction. Okay. Anyways, so yes, improves your general knowledge. It'll expand your vocabulary. Normally there's a lot of new words in books, so
Big words.
Big words. It exercises your brain, which is important for warding off diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. It improves your focus and concentration. One thing I do want to mention here, I was reading that you should always break your reading down to 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes. You can go longer if you want, but normally 30 minutes is a good time.
It's your attention span, right?
Yes, with your attention span. It strengthens your writing skills, and it also helps you relax. There's probably a lot of things that go into why reading helps you relax, but what I'm thinking is you can turn on your TV or you can, get on your tablet, whatever, but that blue light's being emitted. So if you're looking at a book instead of that blue light, which keeps your brain active, you're going to relax easier than if you're watching TV.
Yeah.
So, also, to enhance your reading experience, here's some tips. Turn off your phone. Don't read a book and try to answer a text because you're not getting the full effect of what you're reading. Find somewhere quiet and peaceful, whether it be, your basement if you're hiding from your family, outside, a park.
It's difficult with two little kids.
It is. Or wait until bedtime. That's what I have to do a lot of the time. So, I have some book recommendations. The Nightingale, it's right. You have to read it. It's amazing. But for self-improvement, Daring Greatly by Brené Brown and Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. Those are two that I've read recently, and they spoke to me. They're awesome. And I also just wanted to point out, get your kids involved in this. Start them at a young age. I just signed up my boys for the Ashland Public Library's summer reading program. They do a lot of really cool events for kids, so check that out. And it's free, so okay, on to well.
I want to beat up on what are called target date funds. Target date funds are these funds that they're very, very common in 401k plans. I believe Bank of America just recently did a retirement study on target date funds, and about 40 to 42% of Americans have their 401k invested in target date funds. Target date funds are what they sound like. They are geared towards a specific retirement date. So, for instance, let's say 2040. I plan to retire in 2040. What happens is the fund is pretty aggressive right now because we still have almost multiple decades here until 2040 comes. And then it gradually becomes more conservative, and it reallocates that. Basically between two asset classes, and that's stocks and bonds. So target date funds are probably, in my opinion, I'm going to kind of look at this two ways. One of the better inventions that have come out in the past 20 years. And the reason for that is not because of their performance, they've actually underperformed. If you look at Bank of America's study, target date funds underperform the S&P 500 index by about 2.4%. And if you're a savvy investor, you said, well, of course they do, Nate, because they own things other than just stocks, and the S&P 500 is 100% stocks. But here's the kicker. It's underperforming with the same level of volatility as the S&P 500 has. So its job of diversifying is not really working out. The reason why I said I think it's one of the better inventions that came out in the past 20 years is at least it gets people invested. Underperforming is still better than not investing at all, right? But if we have this awareness to maybe take some time and look at this, we want to look at the asset classes here. So target date funds are largely invested between stocks and bonds. Well, if you've paid attention to what stocks and bonds have done this year, and even the past couple of years, they're both down, right? The idea is to have non-correlated assets. So if I'm diversifying, I want some assets that are moving up, maybe some that are moving down, and they balance each other out. Actually, we want all investments to go up, but that's not how they work. A diversified portfolio works where if one of them is going down, we have something else that's going up that's helping to hold the ground. In the past couple of years, the bonds have basically been very, very correlated to stocks, meaning they move in the same direction. That's not what we want. If we look at the past 5 years for the Vanguard total bond market, it's negative, which, I mean, low interest rates and the value being negative is tough to do. So a modern portfolio, in my opinion, owns more than just bonds and stocks. It owns at least 5 different asset classes. I like the idea of owning commodities. So when you go to the grocery store and you're paying $4 for your eggs and you're paying $5 for your gallon of milk, these are things that I can't help you at this grocery store, but I can certainly help you within your investment account. And same thing with fuel. When we go to the pump, right, we can own these energy companies that are producing the oil that we're paying over $5 now
Before they own us.
a gallon of gas. Can't help you at the pump, but we can help that in the investment account. So you look at other things out besides bonds and stocks. You've got precious metals, you've got commodities, you've got real estate, you've got even cash for a period of time. We don't time the market, but if we're in a falling market, there's nothing wrong with owning a little bit more cash than we typically do. So think about that. Target date funds are better than nothing. But if you're in a target date fund, I think it is worth looking at and seeing, can we do better? Historically speaking, we can.
And it wouldn't be me if I didn't plug for us. If you would like us to review your accounts, or if you're a current client and you would like us to set up a review meeting, don't hesitate to send us a message, give us a call, and we'd be happy to go over those with you.
Okay.
Have a good week.
Enjoy your reading.